I will not be here long. It is a Friday and I am not invested in any of those weird people on here, nor do I need to. That's the good thing about actually having a life of your own and being talented is that you're not codependent on other people straight up and down. You know what I mean? So I don't have to do that. I don't need to call somebody's family members. I'm not desperate like that. But what I was saying earlier, and it's actually been a great day. It's been a good day. You know what I'm saying? I got busy because the stupid phone conversation that my uncle had with the stalker, it does not represent the entire family, and it doesn't represent who I am, and it doesn't represent why I'm here, and it doesn't represent anything. And it certainly does not make what that group of people do legal. So having that conversation with my uncle, who was angry at me at the time, does not mean that those people are not liars, frauds, and headed to prison. In fact, just because Cat Smith spoke to my uncle does not mean that she's still not going to be prosecuted thoroughly for the crimes that she has been committing. So that's what I was going to actually say earlier. A blind man could see that. And see, the thing of it is that my uncle is not familiar at all with what those people are doing. And he just isn't. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't know anything about that per se. It is very strange. It really is very, very strange. It literally, like I said, my grandmother turned over in her grave, and it was definitely just speaks volumes to the fact that, a lot of us have dysfunction in our families. I actually used to talk about the dysfunction like for years that's in my family. I used to speak about that. Why would I need to speak about it now? Well, you know what? It is what it is. At the end of the day, that still does not change the fact that people have been committing crimes. It still does not mean anything. And at the end of the day, you're still going to be prosecuted for the crimes that you have committed. And it just is what it is. Okay. It is. I realize that this is black people that have a very strong urge to try to derail me and to sabotage me. What black person isn't familiar with that? People, black folks like myself know that that's how black people are. No one cares. No one cares. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, you know? It really doesn't. Because at the end of the day, what are you doing except for embarrassing yourself, right? You're an embarrassment yourself, okay? Straight up and down. That's my uncle. That's not my man, okay? Again, okay? Doesn't represent me as a person. So I still don't understand why people do stuff like that gets them nowhere. It gets you nowhere. It doesn't. And it's certainly not going to get you out of the criminal charges that you will have pending against you very soon. In fact, I'm going to do Cat Smith even better. You know, I looked it up on the Missouri Department of Professional Registration, and there is no Cat Smith or Catherine Smith that is a nurse. If you're a nurse and you're practicing in the state of Missouri, even if you are practicing in Kansas, you still have to be registered publicly. So it's funny how there's no registration of her, which leads me to believe that If she is really a nurse, she must be going by a different name. At any rate, her photograph can be sent in to the Missouri Department of Registration and she can be reported for the crimes that she has been committing because nurses are not supposed to behave that way in social media. Okay? So that's where we're at this point. And again, I have a life. Uh, Cat Smith is not a threat to me. Cat Smith has no power over me, but she better be careful because when I get tired, I will send in her photograph to the Missouri Department of Registration. And if she really is a nurse, they will get the news of what she's done. And primarily the reason why is because a nurse should not be practicing under that type of mental capacity or mental condition. She if she's really a nurse, her crimes are going to get reported to the MREC or what are they? Missouri Department of Professional. Yeah, I will report her. She will get reported as well. Okay. Yeah, that's what she needs. That's what she deserves. If you're a nurse, you shouldn't be behaving that way. Um, and nobody should have to know that their nurse is doing things like that to people. Okay, nobody. Nobody should have a crazy psycho nurse giving them their meds. Nobody. So, her photograph can be sent in, even though I don't believe that Cat Smith is her real name. And that's where we're at this point. Okay? If she really is a nurse, she better be careful because I will report it when I have time. I have a life. Okay? All right, so having a conversation, though, with my uncle on the phone does not mean that you're not stalking us. But I don't understand why these people, well, they are criminals. So, it doesn't change anything for you, okay? It doesn't. Just FYI. But I will say this, that if anybody in my family wants to associate with those people, I'm not going to be, we ain't going to be family. Okay? I think that what we're dealing with is an onslaught of narcissistic abuse, sexual predatorial behavior. If you're a black man and you're participating in that, you are ashamed to the world and nobody likes you. Okay? That's a fact. If you're a black man and you're working side by side, the KKK, to mentally, emotionally, physically, or sexually abuse black people, you curse. Now, okay? You talk day and night, night and day, about whatever you want. That's pretty much what I was going to say earlier, is that it doesn't change anything. And then also another thing I wanted to say is that it doesn't mean that they're telling the truth. So basically, what ended up happening, and again, once it starts affecting his life, because I warned my uncle, I said, they're going to find out where you work. They already know where you live. They're going to find out where you work. And they're going to get you fired from your job, is what I let him know. I said, you did the most to yourself, and that's all it is to it, hon. So, unfortunately, that's the drawback about being involved or talking to unstable people. Those people will find out where he works and try to get him fired. Because a lot of those males in that sector are very jealous of anybody's accomplishments. This is what it is. They're haters. I think that that's how we got involved in this situation, is people making poor decisions to speak to people about their family, and come to find out the people that you're speaking to are doing harm to you. Trust me, my mother found out the hard way. Okay? I'm a very loyal person and very stable. I don't talk to strange people that call my goddamn phone. You call my phone talking about anything that I don't want to hear. You call my phone talking some bullshit, you gonna get cussed the fuck out and hung up on. That's how I am. Okay? So that does not represent who I am as a person. I don't know why. And you recorded a conversation with my uncle. Does that mean that you told the truth about anything? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It is very strange, however, though, and I'm not going to make any comment about it. It's very strange, however, that knowing that those people are fucking sexual and child predators, that my uncle would be on the phone talking to somebody that's a sexual and child predator. It's very weird. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't remember. I don't know. No one cares. Okay? All that matters is that you people are stalking people. You've been stalking me since 2013. And just because you recorded a conversation of my uncle does not mean that you're not a stalker. And it does not mean that you're not committing crimes. And it certainly does not mean that you're going to get away with those crimes. Okay? Like I said, my uncle is not my father. My father would have never spoke to you people. You've never spoken to my father. My uncle's not he's not my dad. So, you're still sick, disgusting people. Also, another thing, my child is not in any kind of danger either. He was really sick. He was really sick hearing him speak that way about his nephew, who he talks to all the time. Just, oh yeah, I'm just going to agree with everything that you say just because I'm angry. Get a life. Get a life. Figure out how to resolve your family issues without talking to a racist white woman on the damn phone. Y'all, I was standing over at the kitchen. Hey, Stefan. It's disgusting. I would never do no shit like that. I would never do no shit like that. Ever. You can't call me and talk to me about no bullshit. Ain't no stalker call my goddamn phone. So we all know what's going to come next. We all know that those people are going to start attacking my uncle next, hands down. They're going to start attacking him. They tricked him into believing that they was his friend, and the attacks will come later. Probably even tomorrow, because being his friend isn't going to help them. They still not going to see a dime. Nobody's going to give a damn. They're still going to be crazy and psychotic. And so tomorrow it'll be trying to put down my uncle. The next day it'll be, The bottom line is that people need to get their asses out of social media. You don't have no content, to be honest with you. You don't have any content, you don't have any talent, you have no merit, you have nothing. That's a fact. And you childish as the fuck. I've never seen so many grown people behave like children. Younger people are more mature than a lot of y'all. Younger people are more fucking mature. So you know what I'm saying? So what does that mean? That means that that means that y'all are somehow in the right because my uncle has loyalty issues. He don't know how to be loyal to his own family. No, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. I think it's sick though. And I think that you people are getting ready to go to prison. Regardless. Regardless. You're still going to prison for stalking me for 13 years. That's a fact. Okay? And you can't use that video footage to prove that phone conversation to prove anything. And now if you're proving that my uncle is somehow involved with you people, that's a fucking crying ass goddamn shame. That would be shocking. That would be shocking for my uncle to have something to do with a bunch of sick fucking perverts committing sex crimes against his fucking niece. That would be fucking sick. That would be fucking sick. Yuck. Who would be judged because of that? Me? What the fuck? Yuck. That's gross. That would be gross. Anyway, I'm not invested in y'all like that. I've literally, y'all are very codependent. I don't have any investment in y'all like that. I don't give a shit about that. Just proves how desperate you are. To prove what? To prove nothing. To prove something that I've already spoke about. That shit was 13 fucking years ago. I've spoken about the dysfunction in my family. I've spoken about how they have an issue with, being very negative. I've spoken about that. Who gives a shit? Who cares? The point is that I don't deal with you. The point is that what are you doing on a Friday night besides online obsessing about me? And I don't give a shit about you like that. In fact, let me get my ass off of here. That's just like you continuing to stalk me does not reflect on me, that reflects on you. That's why many of us, we don't have like a group mentality like a lot of black folk got a group mentality. It's all for one, one for all. I don't know you, nigga. I don't know you and I don't give a damn about you. If my uncle wants to be cool with people that literally sexually assaulted his niece, that's on him. I know that if I know that any of my family members come to me tell me some shit like that, I'm going to battle. I'm going to battle with my fucking family. I'm going to bat. Something gonna happen to motherfuckers. You fuck with my family. But that's just how I am. I'm not a fucking dumbass. I would never throw my family under the fucking bus and talk to some racist bitch like that. I would not. I'm not sensitive to racism. The white folks that I deal with actually has respect for me. They would never record my conversation and upload it to fucking YouTube. And I for damn sure ain't hating on no goddamn body either. I would never hate on no fucking body either. Okay? So I got some flagging to do because I noticed that somebody keeps using my photograph. You're going to get flagged for using my photograph, and you're going to be flagged for all of this, and all of you are being reported to the police. Everybody in that sector, that don't change shit. Okay? It doesn't. And no, I really, to be honest with you, I don't let shit like that bother me. Don't. I kind of got pissed off because he gave y'all that. But other than that, can't nobody hurt my children. Can't nobody hurt my son. Ain't that what we've been talking about? When it comes to racism, white people like Cat Smith trying to turn the men in our lives into weapons against us. The weaponized black man. Ain't nobody worrying about y'all. Nobody's worrying about that. I don't have that kind of stuff. My uncle know not to lay no damn hands on me. Ain't no violence in my household. Ignorant shit. So y'all take it and do what y'all got to do with it. Because you're desperate. You're desperate. You ain't got no content. You're failures at life. You ain't got nothing else better to talk about, do you? And for some reason, I'm going to expose that she has a dysfunction in her family. What? So does 99 fucking percent of us have dysfunctional fucking people in our family. The fuck that got to do with why I'm here? They ain't got nothing to do with my money. They ain't got nothing to do with my capabilities. It ain't got nothing to do with my talent. So I'm still not seeing your point. Anywho, up, it's almost 10 o'clock. I gotta go. Broccoli, rice, cheese, and straw. What the hell is straw beef? They do need to leave social media for real. Don't nobody give a. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Any black man that is exploiting a black woman is, in my opinion, he gonna get sick and die. Now you over there still showing photographs. You're gonna die soon. So show a photograph. You're disgracing yourself. Straight up and down. In front of a white man. Cat's a white man. I'm sorry, she's not a white woman. They look like a man to me. A looker like a man to me, hon. Okay? Looking like a man to me. Okay? And that's pretty much it. I gotta go. To all my peeps, y'all have a happy Friday. Y'all stay safe out here. It's white men walking around dressed up like women going around harassing black women and their families. Y'all be safe out here, okay? Love you guys. Bye.